Hello, 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 and welcome. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and welcome to my channel. I'm an author, speaker, and seminar leader. And on this show, I talk about how to expand your world of thought, exploring the world of positive thinking, law of attraction, and consciousness from many points of view. I intend to share with you information that will enlighten and empower you in your life because I truly believe you have been given the power of the word and thought to create the life you desire. Now today I want you to stay with me because it's going to sound a little different from what I normally do as far as manifesting, and this is going to become one of my regulars. So, I regularly will do Napoleon Hill or Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel Shinn, talking about manifesting and making changes in your life. And I'm never going to go away from that unless I'm talking about cooking or do it yourself or the gardening or things like that. But when I'm in this conversation of expanding your world of thought, always understand that no matter where I may seem to be going, I always get back to talking about what you can do in your life to manifest the life that you want. On July 4th, 1776, in Congress, there was a unanimous Declaration of Independence that was signed. As an American, we celebrate this every year, but mainly a lot of folks, it's parades and floats and barbecues and that kind of thing. But here's the deal. As an American, I was raised with the concept of that these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Now, granted, at the time, the Founding Fathers did not think people of color or Asians or anyone not English and a man they didn't think of us as having those rights. It took lots of years, lots of tears, lots of fight in order to have that apply to everyone in this nation of ours. The King of Great Britain and Ireland during this time, 1776, and even before that, because the first shot was fired in 1775 for the Revolutionary War. But the king of this time was King George III. And were it not for his bad ruling style, and he was said to have mental problems too, I may well have been singing God Save the Queen. I doubt it, because somebody would have gotten upset along the way. Of course. Well, history is messy. And as I was trying to understand how and why the people of the United Kingdom are still dealing with being called common or peasants, or dealing with the idea that having a title makes you better than someone else, such as peerage of Great Britain. These are the ranks of the English peerage, and they are in descending order: Duke, Marquess, Q-U-E-S-S, Marquess. Then comes the Earl, like the Earl of Wessex, Viscount, and Baron. Even within these ranks, people look down on the lower ranks as being unworthy or not sophisticated enough. Prince Philip was talking about people rising above their rank, rise, daring to pull yourself up, as we say here, by your bootstraps, taking yourself out of poverty to riches or wealth or a different station in life and be among the elite. Then there is the doctrine that kings derive their authority from God and not from their subjects. Therefore, they can't be removed by their subjects. It was claimed in Britain by the House of Stuarts and is also associated with the absolutism of Louis XIV of France. Well, since William III and Mary II, the monarchy has been regarded as a purely human institution. Now, when we think about the divine right of kings, we get some of that information from the Hebrew scriptures and the appointing of kings, such as King Solomon. So this whole idea that God has appointed you really has come from the church saying, okay, God said, you're going to be king, right? This whole idea. But there's even more to it, which I'm not going to go into the history of that right now. Just the fact that they believed that they got their authority from God and not from man. All right, so since William III and Mary II, so that's William and Mary, there was a thing called the Glorious Revolution of 1688, and it led to the constitutional monarchy in England, United Kingdom, restricted by laws such as the Bill of Rights of 1689 and the Act of Settlement in 1701. Now, Queen Elizabeth, and that is Elizabeth II, believes that it is her God-given mission, not appointment, to rule the country until her death. She said all her life. But that doesn't mean that she believes in the divine right of kings. The philosophy died when Britain became that constitutional monarchy. The monarchs, or currently Elizabeth's official title, is Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, and is on all official documents. The succession to the throne is regulated not only through descent or descendants, but also by parliamentary statute. The order of succession is the sequence of members of the royal family in the order in which they stand in line to the throne. It came to be established not only that the sovereign rules through the parliament, but that the succession to the throne can be regulated by parliament, and that a sovereign can be deprived of his or her title through misgovernment. The Act of Settlement confirmed that it was for Parliament to determine the title to the throne. Then came the Succession Act, or Succession to the Crown Act in 2013. And it amended the provisions of the Bill of Rights and the Act of Settlement to end the system of male primogeniture, under which a younger son can displace an elder daughter in the line of succession. The act applies to those born after the 28th of October 2011. The act also ended the provisions by which those who marry Roman Catholics are disqualified from the line of succession. The changes came into force in all 16 realms in March 2015. Okay, why am I going through all this? Well, here's why. When you're born the sixth in line to the throne, You are thrust into a life that is difficult, even though people outside see it as glamorous, privileged, and with so much wealth. When behind the curtain, like the Wizard of Oz, is a life that can be tedious, unrewarding, and frightful, dutiful, and so on. You are concerned, you being the person that's in line of succession. You are concerned with people wanting to harm you, people judging you, even though they have never met you, having to do things that are not in your heart, and having to let things go that are part of your soul, having to conform to an institution, having to lessen yourself to this institution. You lose yourself within this organization. It is unlikely that Harry or his children will ever be acting as heads of the United Kingdom. Harry and Meghan decided to take control of their unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and of course, the pursuit of happiness. By stepping down as working senior royals, all Harry did was quit his job as an executive with the company, the family firm, and decided to start his own company, not to rival the company he left. There was no way that he would even try such a thing. He's not in competition with that company because he's doing things that those in that company don't really do. They may verbally do it, but physically, emotionally, in reality, they don't. Now, this is done all the time in the United Kingdom, the United States, and other countries. Example is your family wants you to continue to work in the pizza or the Italian restaurant business, and you said no because because dad or mom, you're leaving it to my older brother and I'll never own part of it. Why should I do that? Why should I put all this work in there when my older brother's going to have it and then his kids are going to have it and all I am is the standby? So I'm going to start my own computer company because that's what I love. I've always done the PR for you, and I have started my own charities. Therefore, I need to make money to keep that up. I still love you, but I have to branch out on my own without being kept from my full potential. I am tired of being the one that takes the fall or is the one that's put out as the bad example when I'm not bad. I'm good, I'm smart, I'm brilliant. I know how to get things done. In less than 2 years, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have accomplished what they were denied as part of the working royal family. I do not know them. However, I've seen what they have done and accomplished. I see their Archwell website, and that is where I get my news, unless they issue a press release. I am as proud of them as I am of my own children. As I listen or read people who are angry that he left the business, I feel as though they have no clue what it's like to have your family dictate to you who you are to be and have you take the blame anytime someone in the company higher up than you F's up. You know, I've watched things where they talk about, oh, there's Junior, he's the playboy, and all he wants is money from the company, and so on and so forth in some of these movies. And in the end, it was Junior that saved the company. It was Junior that understood how the company worked. In the end, Junior was the savior. I'm not looking for Harry or Meghan to be a savior over here on the firm, but I know that they will be great humanitarians in doing that. So I said stick with me, and hopefully you're still with me, because this is for you, for all of you who have listened this far. This is what I want you to do. As long as you're not driving, operating machinery or anything like that, I want you to close your eyes. Yeah, go ahead, close them. Don't be afraid. I don't think people will think you're falling asleep. Close your eyes. And I want you to visualize where you want to be in your life. What do you want to do? Will it require you to walk away from your family business or your family? Will it require you to quit a lucrative, well-paying job that you hate and you feel it is holding you back to start your own company, or to go to work for a company that holds your values and appreciates you? Are you willing to pursue your unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness? You can manifest the life you want by taking the leap of faith, just as Harry and Meghan did. Harry said they had no idea what they were going to do. That is what the year was to give them until his dad cut off his funds. So imagine Charles is your job, and when you quit, the funds are cut off. If you've been saving during this time, as I've suggested in other videos, you have a nest egg to get you started, but it isn't enough to sustain you. Therefore, you are driven to do the things that are necessary to bring in the income that you need. And being in this position, you can call on your subconscious mind and infinite intelligence to lead you to your ultimate destination. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell. And if you're a subscriber, thanks for being here and for joining me today. I wish you to please share and follow me on social media. Share this with someone who needs to hear these words and to be encouraged to pursue their rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and as you have believed, let it be done to you. And it is so, and I will see you in the next video.